So this is my 1985 Dodge D150. It has a 5.2 liter 2-barrel carbureted V8, and this engine was rated for about 230 horse when it first came out. I was given this truck 2 years ago, not running, by my girlfriend's grandmother. It was previously her grandfather's, and this truck was sitting for about 20 years, and it had wires cut under the column, the brake lights. It was missing certain pieces, and I got it to run, and I brought it over here from a small town. Now this truck only has 34,000 original miles on it, but it does blow blue smoke. It has a TorqueFlite 727 3-speed, but today we're going to be pulling that motor out of the truck. So I'll go ahead and get started.
Man, the first thing I had to do was go get a tripod because recording with one hand was not going to work. Anyway, I have to start off by removing the radiator and the fan shroud. Next I move on to the grille and radiator support. The reason I'm removing them is because I'm going to pull the engine straight out of the front since I'm doing it by myself. I don't want to remove the hood. After removing all the screws, the grille comes straight off. I also remove the front bumper, then move on to the radiator support. It has two larger bolts to the frame and a series of small bolts that attach it to the fender.
One of those bolts is stuck into the fitting. So, what do you do when a bolt is stuck?
And just like that, the core support was off. I move on to the transmission, disconnecting the sensors and linkages. Removing the drive shaft and transmount came next. I did the transmount off camera since it was a tight fit for the camera, and I did need some help. After popping off the exhaust manifold to disconnect the engine from the rest of the exhaust, I begin to remove the carburetor, disconnecting the fuel lines, linkages, removing the nuts and two bolts that hold it in place. And it was time to yank it out. With some help from my dad,
Esta pipa. Ahí está.
Ahí va, Ahora sí.
Alright. So now that the engine's out, you're probably asking yourself, what's next? There's something in this box that's going to be going in that truck. And as for the engine and transmission that were already in the truck, the engine and transmission have been unpaired, and the transmission is going to be sent in for a full rebuild with a manual valve body, and it's going to be built to handle a little more power. As for anything else, it's going to have to wait until the next time. I'm Not.Denver, and I hope you have a good day.